Alright,
Citizen!
welcome back to the second stream for today with AC Brotherhood. We're gonna continue to prepare for the ending of the game with sequence 8 and 9 and yeah, the rest of the side content within those two sequences. We still got a couple Assassination contracts, a couple Lairs, and also we still have a couple clusters to solve. So the first part of today's stream is definitely gonna focus on finishing most of those kind of like content. And yeah, if we still have time, then we're also gonna dive back into the main story and see how far we can take it. Also, hey Verot, welcome back. Thanks as well, dude. Hey Vesekat, welcome to you. Thank you for joining. Harbinger. Citizen. Welcome back. And yeah, let's dive back into some AC Brotherhood, shall we? Currently at 87% total. And there's already a Cristina mission nearby, so I think we're gonna start off with that. I didn't want to end with that mission last time we played because it's quite sad. But yeah, doing it as the first thing in the stream is alright, I guess.
I have a new lead-based cure for syphilis.
Yeah, this is the last one, I think.
Manfredo! What happened?
Men. Savonarola's men. They came through, destroying everything.
Where is Cristina? Manfredo! Where is she?
She ran. They went after her.
No!
Love's labor's lost. Save Cristina from Savonarola's men. So that's in reference to the second last sequence in AC2. One of the DLC, conflict sequences as well. Where Fairlands is like completely in ruins, in shambles, and controlled by a mad monk that's holding the Apple of Eden. He's basically ordering everybody to destroy all the books, all the knowledge, and believe in the Christian God instead. And yeah, Alfredo dying and Cristina being attacked is like a result of that.
Where are your bitches now? Your fancy house, your expensive dress, they are sins against the Lord! Cristina! Run! Cristina, hold on. I'll get you to a doctor. You're going to be all right.
No, it's you. I don't think I am.
No! Don't go. Stay with me, Cristina.
It's you. Don't you know? I've always been with you. I wish we could have had a second chance.
Requiescat in pace. My love.
Man, this really makes me wish this was like part of AC2, you know? Because this is like quite a major relationship in Ezio's life, you know? Like his first love. The first woman he ever fell in love with. And her dying in his arms, you know? And him failing to protect her from that. It really weighs heavy on Ezio, I think. But yeah, also seeing like the horrible effect, you know, that the Eppo has in the hands of the wrong people. Commanding people to do senseless things like, you know, murdering Cristina, which I can't really reason with. Like I just said, Cat, that kinda sucks, you know, like getting not the good timing on that. Hopefully there's gonna be another sale, because Ubisoft games tend to be on sale quite often. But yeah, never know, I guess, how long that might take. Okay, so we do have a last Romulus lair over here, actually. Do have to avoid running into the main mission, because I don't want to start it yet. But yeah, this might be a good time to get that done. Even have one of the clusters on here, apparently.
Well now.
Only death binds for you here, friend. Make your escape.
Make for the chance. Please, God, just let me live.
You'd like to get your hands on the Eppo and go drunk on power. That sounds like a reasonable wish, Seket. Definitely support that. But that gives an even greater impact.
You deserve some kind of reward for your actions. A guided tour of our captivating dungeons, perhaps.
Fuck?
Don't scare up Nerd, all right?
I'm not sure if I heard that NPC quote before. But it gives an even greater impact to the moment in AC2 where Ezio stops Savonarola from burning to death, putting him out of his misery quickly, considering he's the man responsible for Cristina's death. It goes back to what Mario told Ezio when he had killed Vieri and was yelling and cursing at his dead body. Do not become like those he assassinates, even if they deserve more than just death. That's very true, you know, like not to get fallen back, I guess, into that kind of like desire for revenge only, you know, and making somebody suffer. But rather just getting it done, you know, and like accepting that nobody, no matter what you've done, deserves like a horrible death necessarily. Because it's really like putting the selfish aspect behind the character.
Be good. Try my base for you. Stop.
Univa Rod. Yeah, that was quite a unique quote. Definitely can't remember hearing it before, at least. Hey there, Absolution. Welcome in. What's What's up with this guy? The fuck? Yeah, something is a bit weird with the detection right now.
You knew not what you did.
He clearly didn't. And hey there, Skydark. Welcome back. And how's it going? I hope you've been well. Excellent, Skydark. Congratulations on finishing the beta. That's awesome. And yeah, I've been doing good. Thank you for asking. Definitely. Just recently got a new doggo. And it's still like in the first days after she arrived. But yeah, it's been a lovely time together so far. But yeah, it's definitely still in the like getting to know phase, you know. Because she did have a previous owner, so we kind of like have to learn all of her behavior. And yeah, kind of like her routine, I guess. Okay, that's the last Romulus Lair in Brotherhood, I believe. Let's do this.
Did you see that white knight?
Yeah, that is good.
At White Knight. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Find the shrine to Romulus. Full sync. Complete the memory within 8 minutes. Okay, so I believe, Rod, that you told me that there's like a unique dialogue in this mission at the end. If you decide to throw him over the edge instead of like just killing him straight up. Yeah, definitely has been awesome, Skydark. I do love dogs, so it's great to finally have one, you know, ourselves. And yeah, still doing my NU series playthroughs of these games. This year we're shortening it a little bit because I'm only playing the AC games developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Which is definitely considerable less than all of the AC games instead. But yeah, still enjoying this series of course and still playing through it. That's the one? Okay, awesome. Gonna make sure to do that. And Sekat, thank you for 100 bits.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. Ite missa est Deo gratias.
Cheers, Sekat. I appreciate that. We started Syndicate yesterday and Warlotten and Hidden Shanks go well together, you believe? That's definitely true, yeah. I do quite like the setting of Syndicate, for sure. It's kind of like one of the settings I always wanted to see in an AC game because I think it really fits with the thematic of the oppressed versus the people.
Did you hear?
Kinda like Dio.
The Baron de Valois is dead. No. Now Bartolomeo d'Alviano is sure to rise up against the Pope.
Cesare's campaign will be in trouble.
Is that such a bad thing?
Perhaps not.
Some say the papal funds lie in disarray.
Serio? The Pope's treasury is never empty. His Holiness will simply kill another wealthy cardinal if he requires funds.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no worries, Skydark. Cheers for dropping by and saying hello. And yeah, hope you have a good time with Syndicate as well.
His name is Ezio Auditore. Who?
The assassin. He killed the banker. Some say he even walked the halls of Il Vaticano with no one able to stop him.
There is hope after all. Perhaps Cesare's rule will finally end, and the church will be restored to its former glory.
I will write the sermons, then leave them for you within the shrine. Make sure you deliver them convincingly, with passion.
The followers will do anything we tell them to, Padrone. They believe their God commands them.
Bene. Do you have the key?
Yes, Padrone.
May the Lord be with you.
And also with you, Padrone.
Ben, now I have a way back up in case I fall.
Assassino! You will not get me!
Assassino. Gotta do like a compilation of the different Assassinos in the series.
My ascension takes me closer to God and away from you, Assassino!
Could have been another variation.
No more!
I love the visuals in this mission.
Sanctuary denied!
I like how he like stumbled. What the heck? What's that? I was too fast. Pretty much. Hey VLP, welcome in. Yeah, gotta let them run ahead a little bit. Otherwise, we will just fall. Yeah. That's what I needed to do here.
It seems God is on my side, Assassino!
He really lost saying Assassino.
What do you want, Assassino?
The followers of Romulus work for the Pope's gain.
Of course! They are ignorant. We are enlightened. Their savagery will lead the people. A light of the church. Godspeed!
You have nowhere to run.
What a fool! You wage war against the very instrument that prevents the people from overthrowing order.
Your order is no order at all.
I like how I have my back turned there.
You saved me! Praise God!
Requiescat in pace.
That's amazing. Oh, come on. Up here. It's still a timer, so I want to make sure I get to that scroll as fast as possible. Okay, I had 1.5 minutes left, actually. But still. But I really like the visuals too, very atmospheric, especially with the awesome music. That as well. I love the music and like the lightning storm. The weather kind of also reminds me of that mission with Belek and Arnaud in Unity. Especially like on the rooftops and fighting like inside a church, I guess. Chasing each other. That's kind of funny how the you know, priest is like so damn good at parkour. Quite impressive, you know. And yeah, with it has head as well. You know, I reckon that wouldn't make parkour any easier. If it wasn't for Rod, you would have never known about the falling down extra cutscene. Yeah, me neither, Hippie. I didn't even know it was a thing. But it's really cool. And it's a pretty badass kill right there. Okay, so the last scroll of Romulus. Caesar's dead, stabbed 23 times by his own countrymen, many of whom he once considered friends. Dead not for his deeds, but for fear of what he would have become. My own guilt has devoured me, for Caesar resigned himself to his harsh fate only once he met my eyes. Did he see what I had seen, reflected within them? I, Marcus Junius Brutus, have returned to the cavern and the chamber below it. I have left behind my dagger and my armor. Perhaps one day another will be caught here with some similar tragic purpose. Perhaps it is you, reading this account. Despite my ordeal, I have no answers, but I suspect I will have them soon. For you who would enter the chamber, you must speak aloud. The final piece of a scroll is missing. So, yeah. To open up the door, we don't have the answer yet. but it will be revealed to us in the Villa Monterigioni, which is kind of like a symbol that Ezio left behind for us to find, I guess. Or maybe it was... I guess it was clay, right? Or is it? I mean, it can't be clay because Desmond sees it in modern day, so it's definitely something that has been marked there in real life, not by the enemies. So I guess it must have been Ezio who left something behind there. But yeah, it's basically the password to enter the Temple of Juno. Decoded Romulus data for immediate distribution. His Holiness the Pope and the illustrious Captain General Cesare request that you amend the sermon text given to you thus far to include the message from Romulus that the assassins must be attacked. As you have done so effectively before by sending Roma's terrified citizens to our doorstep, now you must do to rid the city of the assassins. The usual amount of florins will be deposited at the bank for you and the other head priests to pick up. Go with God. Cardinal Francesco de Borgia. So further confirming that the Borgia are indeed behind this organization. Or if kind of like use them rather for their own purpose of striking fear into the population.
There he goes again!
Oh.
He's too drunk to notice, apparently. Okay, let's have a look where we have the next side mission here. We still have quite a few assassination contracts, so I guess I'm gonna focus on those next here. And we also have another Templar Lair. We could also have a look if we can maybe get the cluster already before triggering the, the cutscene for the next main story.
That could be him. Let's have a closer look. Merda! I've lost sight of him. Dove? Did you see where he went?
Oh, he didn't. If you can't, you can replay an earlier mission to get it, because once you complete it, even aborting the memory, it will remember you've done it. That's a good tip too, actually, yeah. Yeah, there's the whole, like, rescue Catarina mission, right? Which you could replay, technically. Yeah, let's see and find out, I guess, if it is possible. Assassino. One thing I wonder, I could like go here and then abort the mission. Whether that reset me, I wonder. Wow, it reset me like all the way back to the headquarters? Amazing. I thought like at least nearby. I thought maybe you could like do that, you know, and then get like inside, but nope. Well, let's have another look, I guess.
Hey, have you lost all reason?
You don't own this place. Relax. Dio del cielo. It hurts.
I say.
Hey Lucinda, welcome in. Thank you for lurking. And I hope you're having a good morning so far. Ah, you can go up here apparently. But you can't get around, can you? Yeah, this place is also locked off unless you do like a mission. I guess. I mean, I guess in that case I can just wait until we do the main story, you know, get inside. Since we're getting there either way. Okay, let's find a fast travel point and then we go to the west side here, because that's the east side. That's where we have most of the missions here currently. Okay, let's see. How about the barracks, maybe? I think that's where I have to go anyways to unlock the next assassination contracts.
Your success unnerves the Pope further. Rodrigo has added several new members to the Curia, filling the papal government with men willing to kneel before the Borgia. Machiavelli knows them well.
And soon, so will I.
Alright, so that should be the last batch of assassination contracts here. Hello, Doggo. Yeah, she wanted to let herself be known. Wanted to announce herself. Turning the tables. Cesare's Charisma has bought his guards the best equipment available, use their own weapons against them. Both think, kill at least one brute, one seeker, and one paper guard with his own weapon. Okay, so that means we have to get into combat here, because I gotta disarm them, essentially. Or I gotta kill, I guess, one brute and then pick up one of their weapon. So I'm gonna make the stealth challenge here exempt from this mission because, yeah, it's like a combat focus one.
Where is Charles Lee?
Where's Charles Lee? Hey there, Kobe. Welcome in. Good day to you. I hope you're having a good one so far. Where's Evo? Yeah, only 2 more games and then we're gonna find out again. I think there's also one of the locations for another cluster. You are free today and going to a piano concert later. Very nice. That's awesome. Is it like a classical piano, jazz piano, or what kind of piano music will you be listening to? And yeah, Rome is going very well. The liberation of Roma has been concluded. Yeah, we got all of the assassins recruited and most of them on Assassino rank. So it's been going pretty good. Okay, time for some combat.
Escape! in, Ali!
I don't think I can actually disarm these guys here. So I have to pick up the weapon of the other guy. Where's it for?
He's here!
Oh no. Are you kidding me? So because I killed him in stealth, his weapon wasn't pulled out, which means I can't use the weapon. And I can't disarm him, I don't think. Unless there's like a random chance that it works. Classic. Evgeny Sin playing Bach, Mozart, Chopin and Rachmaninoff. Nice. Sounds like a really good selection there. I do love Chopin and Rachmaninoff. We do have a couple vinyls even of both of them. And I mean, Bach is always good. But yeah, I hope you enjoy listening to some of that. Sounds very good. I think somewhere here should be a cluster. Yeah, there it is. It's definitely fair. But yeah, I mean, if the artist is someone you're really looking forward to listen to, then that's amazing. Honestly, haven't heard of Evgeny Sin before. But yeah, I'd love to listen to some of it. If you wanna share this or something. Okay, we have one of the earlier televisions, which was still in black and white, I guess. Yeah, some of these puzzles in Brotherhood are actually quite tricky to get behind that logic, like what's moving when and how you gotta rotate it in advance. Rod, back in your day, everyone sat around the same device to watch shows, not everyone individually watching different things on multiple devices. Yeah, back in the day where people still watched and played together. Locally. Kobe's one of those piano prodigies, played a concert with Herbert von Karajan when he was just 17 years old. Now he's 51 and apparently still just as amazing. I mean, Karajan, of course, is a term to me. One name, I guess. Yeah, that's awesome, you know, getting exposed to that like this early in his career. Good evening and welcome to television.
Loading.
Abstergo Industries. Research Division, September 1985. Dear S. Research has progressed far more rapidly than expected. We already have a working prototype capable of mimicking Pieces of Eden. Capabilities across the network, albeit at far lower intensity. Testing will commence locally on Subject 4 between the enemy sessions, as per our plan. If all goes well, deployment will occur worldwide. The dream is about to become a reality. Soon capitalists and workers will be locked in a closed loop that is safe and prosperous for humanity. No more war, only desks, cars and TV sets. We will protect them and keep them safe, forever. WV, which I guess stands for Warren Vidic.
Loading. Infinite rooms. Dimensions unknown. I am alone. Nothing alive. No light. No warmth. Packets moving. Husks through the darkness. I am frightened. I am frightened. Loading.
Circophone Records, April 2011. A dickhead. Wer hier ist? Bastardo. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I do actually wonder what happens if I press play now. Okay. I mean, just like noise, pretty much. But nothing you could like distinguish, I guess.
Yeah, Mr. White! Yes, science!
That scared me. But yeah, that's right. Science. If only I could do this, then it would be extra level of science, but yeah, these are like my nemesis puzzles in this game. Especially for like so many choices.
Hello, Comstatic Customer Support, Diana speaking.
I'm calling in reference to your HD cable service. There seems to be some kind of picture between the channels.
Well, that's funny. Are you sure it isn't just one of those premium movie channels? I didn't used to have a premium package at home either, and sometimes little snippets of the channels would come through when my son Jimmy pressed the clicker too much.
How old's your Jimmy?
10 and cute as a button. Thanks for asking.
My Paul's 12. But no, this isn't a clicker problem. I go to change the channel from 172 to 173, and instead, there's this other channel in between. I'm looking at it right now. It's some kind of menu.
Sounds like our guide channel. Why, just the other day, Jimmy...
It's not the guide channel. It has my name on it, my son's name, and a list of things we like, my credit card purchases, loans, travel. And then after that, there's this gibberish about biometric patterns and optimal screen refresh frequencies. There's some kind of heart monitor things that says EEG wireless next to it, and ARAS. don't know what the particulars of this are, but it looks like your cable is programmed to have some kind of effect on our bodies.
Well, sir, I don't even know how to respond to that. 1 second, my supervisor's just come over. She says I should transfer your call. Have an ecstatic day with Comstatic.
Hello. I have been briefed on your problem. A technician is on his way.
Thank you, but the more I think about this, the more I think something bad's going on here.
Our technician should be there any minute, Mr. Jameson.
Don't bother, right?
Daddy, there's someone stranded at the door. He's hitting the door real hard.
Have a good day, Mr. Jameson.
Loading.
Yeah, and that's how the Templars react to people finding out what they're doing, you know. In this case, they use the technology of television to send signals out of there that would kind of like mimic the effect of the Apple of Eden. And they use that to kind of like control the population with consumerism, essentially. And what the person that started the call kind of like you know, found out was that it was actually used to kind of like spy on them, I guess. And yeah, like it's definitely a misbelief to say that the Templars aren't assassinating people either, you know. Only they assassinate whoever they have to assassinate, you know. Doesn't matter if it's like a simple citizen who never has done anything wrong in his life, you know. I guess his entire family is dead now, thanks to Abstergo. Thanks for your help, Architecto. He's always there to save the day. If it's on the Assassin or Templar side, doesn't matter. Watch, move fast, shift from first to second, 0 to 60, don't think. Okay, so we're looking for a car here. Like that.
Loading. Is someone there? Hello? Hello? Loading. Quarantine zone.
Although online gaming attracts many people away from reality, make sure these virtual worlds do not become too utopic. We don't want people to question their own lack of success in the real world now, do we?
Where's the lamb?
Amazing.
Come on, man.
Even behind video games.
This is the lamb
Where's
sauce.
the lamb sauce?
Right here, chef.
Lamb sauce is coming up.
Quarantine lifted.
Alright, that's cluster 8 done. Alrighty, let's do the next Templar Lair here, which I think is also the last Templar Lair in the game. Just checking if we have enough ammunition and stuff. We only have two smoke bombs. I would kind of like to get another one, but I guess 2 is sufficient. I hope. Liquid gold. Find the Templar strongbox inside the aqueducts. For zinc, avoid killing more than 2 mine workers. That's the mission with the German border captain. It's a really funny accent.
How long do you expect us to work with such petty wages?
When the aqueduct is restored, we use it to take the treasure out of the quarry. Then you will be paid well for your efforts.
Enough with the same lies. I say we get back what belongs to us. Who's with me?
This is what happens to rebels. Let it serve as a warning to all of you. Now, get back to work.
So exaggerated. It's definitely a very definitely a German accent you can like spot quite quickly with like how rough he's speaking of the R. But it's also funny because he even says some German words later. I think he also says Scheiße, which is basically like shit in German.
You hurt someone pulling stunts like that.
Now, how to get water to this wheel? Bene. Now, I hope it will not snap under my weight.
That's a new banner. Oh. Seriously. Never mind. That's a classic. And a way up in case I fall.
That could help if I fall.
That's like so random. Valletta just perfectly landing like that.
Now, how to get water to this wheel? I must find another vantage point.
Makes you think of that one thing, piece of wooden beam that falls and it's precisely on its end and doesn't fall over. Yeah, it's like everything's so fortunate for Ezio, you know?
Seems I need to redirect the flow from the cistern. one is set. Now to align the other one. Now, to get water to this wheel.
I like how we're just on top of here.
Drinking the good stuff.
You know, like cleaning the place. Like, dude, cleaning dust off a rock.
Merda. Perhaps this device can help me get up. There's a water wheel back there, but this brake locks it in place.
What is wrong with you Italians? The assassin! Protect me!
Why not come down and fight, coward?
Twice this sum goes to the man who kills him. Money makes the world go round, eh, assassin?
What is wrong? I love that accent. What is wrong?
But I need money, sir. I'm poor and sick and hungry.
Shit. Where do I go here? Ah, never mind. There was something I could jump to, which I didn't see. Amazing. I fell down again. Why couldn't I jump there? Now this thing is down too. I can't really kill these mine workers either for the full sync requirement. Okay, so this is still gonna be treated as like a forced combat scenario here.
More of my men are on their way. Surrender now and I let you live.
Ah, okay, I think I gotta climb up there and then jump over. That's only for the chests, yeah. Never mind. That's not ideal. Hey Veroni, welcome in. Good morning.
More of my men are on their way. Surrender now and I let you live!
Which way did he go?
Good luck, Mason.
That machine is useless!
Ragazzi!
You missed!
Right, I can't go up here.
That will not help you! Face it! I am the better man!
How'd I get up there again?
More of my men are on their way! Surrender now and I let you live! That will not help you! Face it! I am the better man! Go to hell!
Okay, what am I missing here? Like, I gotta kind of like move a crane over there, right? How? What am I missing?
On their way. Surrender now and I let you live. That machine is useless. More of my men are on their way. Surrender now and I let you live.
Take care of that rabble!
That machine is useless.
Like, it's still marking these two as kind of like things I have to interact with. I can only hit this side wall. So maybe there's like a certain order I have to do it in.
Scheiße! Ah! You missed! Hey! Stop! What have you done?
I guess that worked. Scheiße! Oh, that's so funny.
get the treasure. I will be granted riches beyond belief when I bring Cesare your head.
Perhaps I will send in yours.
Nine!
9! Oh shit. Thought I had to go the other way.
Merda, what? Where did he go? Ah! Be in range of the archers up ahead. Andiamo! Forza! I've seen him before. I've lost him. I could be out.
Like I can see through walls.
There! Put that dog down! There! Get him!
And he is infected by smoke bombs either. Apparently. I can't counter kill him either. Literally can't use any counter kill moves.
Sei mio, canaglia!
Hai paura? Are you afraid? Sai, le armi servono a duellare.
Come on, coglione!
Ma che cosa aspetti? Su, non essere timido, fatti sotto.
I like how if I taunt he doesn't attack me.
Never had to actually use it? Stai attento, I'm here! Let's finish this.
Look, I can like perma taunt him and he's not attacking me.
I'm right here. They send Bambini to go to Nonna is calling. You want it in the gut? Hit me again.
Come get me. Bring it on. You can't hit me.
Big mistake. Your end, wait.
What are you waiting for?
Can you not fight? Are you ready to die? Stai attento, I'm here.
Come get me. Sai, le armi.
Big mistake. Never had to actually...
Vieni a prendermi.
Che schifo. I'm right here. Stop wasting my time.
You can't hit me.
Amazing. Best mission. He has a very early gas mask. Yeah, clearly. Ah, that was funny. The Germans are not faced by Italian insults. Very true. I don't understand them. Ava Mesh, welcome in. The game is one of your favorites in the series, but you remember struggling so hard with not taking damage of a tank mission for the full sync? Absolutely, that can be such a pain, you know, getting that full sync requirement done. Definitely took me a couple tries to get it right this time. But yeah, it can be quite annoying. Especially since like the hardest part comes at the very last, and when you're already like 15 minutes into the mission or something. Right, Ronnie, I gotta do like a recording of each and every single like taunt that Ezio does in all of the games, including the Bard Songs of Revelations. Nice. That does it.
Let my experience garnish you in the finest style available.
Baldovinetti himself painted this masterpiece. It was left to the great Domenico, but when he died, I persuaded the family to part with it. It could now be yours for a very attractive price.
I mean, that sounds convincing. I already have all of the paintings though, so... But thanks anyways.
Next time then, sir.
I have some exclusive tales from the East for your wives, signor.
Will say, when the dogs have met their day, to their shame and great dismay, Il Campione will have his way. Sing for joy, our Lord is he.
Citizen!
Lawrence!
Citizen. Hey, Vaora. Welcome in. And how's it going, citizen?
Excellent
and
choice,
a Scuridoro. Una festa per gli occhi.
He is too good, a true inspiration. A bit disorganized, but I do know my smithing. Bear with me, amici.
I long for the day Roma will emerge from this forge and nightmare.
Okay, there's a couple new weapons I could get. Yeah, I still wanna buy all of the weapons in order of like price. So I guess the next one would be the... let's see. The Schiavona.
There you go, sir. Mention me to your amici.
It's going terribly, but that's life. The sun still rises today. That really sucks to hear, Aura. I hope things will look better for you soon. But yeah, it definitely can be life sometimes, you know, that's like all the bad things happen at the same time. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be better ones again. And yeah, I did. We finished Shredders earlier today. I actually really blasted for the last couple of missions. I still had like 35 left total. Or 34, I guess, and I finished all of them in like 2.5 hours today. But yeah, it was a good time, and I'm definitely gonna keep on playing Shredders on my own time. Because it's just such a fun game to just like drive around in and, you know, listen to some music and stuff. Similar to like a racing game, you can just like spend time playing it, not even doing like any major missions or something.
A job well done. Thank you, sir.
Cool. That's entire aqueduct renovated. Okay, what do we have left? Okay, there's 2 assassination contracts to the Borgia district there. Let's have a quick look at the DNA tracker here to see what's exactly left at this point. So obviously sequence 8. So all of the secret locations are done now. All of the war machines are done, all of the Borgia towers, all of the Templar agents, all of the Cristina missions. The assassinations, I'm missing 3 of them actually. I've done all of the Thief, all of the Courtesan, all of the Copernico. So we're almost done with all of the side stuff here. I do wonder where the last 2 glyphs are though. Locations. Okay, so Castel San Angelo is still open. And I haven't found the last location, apparently. Where's the last cluster? Ah, the Colosseo, never mind. I haven't gotten this one yet. Okay. So I guess we're gonna go to the Colosseo because it's quite close to us. Then we can also go to the Romulus Lair to unlock the secret armor of Brutus. Is that the same aqueduct being built in Odyssey? It's not, because Rome wasn't part of Odyssey's map. But you do have Rome being presented in Origins though. At the very end you arrive in Origins and you go ahead and have a mission as Aya. Hey there, Afro. Welcome in. Indeed, that music. Gotta love it. What a curious display. There was a tiny piece of map in Odyssey that was in Rome, but maybe not. Maybe that was Origins. You remember a side mission to help the guy who designed the aqueduct because his tools were stolen? Yeah, that's from Origins, I'm quite sure. There's like an entire quest line regarding the aqueduct and the people working there. And you're definitely right that it was very much under Roman influence. Like Rome has basically occupied, how's it called? Sarene? Yeah, that's the name for the city. And they do build aqueducts there as well. It's actually a Greek, or kind of like Greek-inspired city. Like everything built there has been very much in Greek design and fashion. But Rome eventually is the occupier of Egypt, I guess. And that part as well. But yeah, I mean, there could also be an aqueduct mission in Odyssey. I'm not sure if there is. It's been a while since I've done like all of the missions in that game. Okay, there's the cluster we're looking for. Cluster 9.
Loading.
Listen to us with these vehicles that are faster than race cars. That's definitely fair, Aura. I mean, they can be similar enough sometimes and have also like similar type of missions or stories in side missions. So it can be easy to mistake them. The Equiduct. It's so funny with Hugo in Plague Tale, the way he pronounces aqueduct. Okay, so we're basically looking for electric lines here, because they can be faster than race cars with a transmission speed. There's a couple for sure. And an electric fence.
I know you are there. I want to go home. Home. Please. I need you. Don't leave me here in the dark. Loading.
Circle Field Records, November 2004. I know you are there, damn detected. That's right. That actually should be counted, to be honest. Okay then. Oh nice. That worked quite well.
Pull over here.
What's going on, Gary?
I want to speak to you alone. You know that CIA stuff from my new book?
About the corporations?
It's so much bigger than I thought. Bilderberg is just a red herring. I'm going to give you a name. Abstergo.
I have no idea what that is.
A shadow corporation. They aren't listed anywhere. No stock options, nothing above the boards. But their members have holdings in other companies. Coke, Kraft, the pharmaceutical industry, Detroit, Wall Street. Basically, every company above a certain size has ties to Abstergo.
So?
They're on their way to running the entire world. They have people in government too, for Christ's sake. Listen, I needed to tell someone about this because I've been keeping all the research a secret and I can't hold it in anymore.
What will you do now?
The book. It's going to be about this. Trust me, once it's on the shelves, everyone's gonna know.
Vehicle monitoring system terminated.
Hello, D. Tell headquarters I'm monitoring a situation. Now, it's nothing serious, but we'll need someone to take care of a security risk. Perfect. Congratulations on that promotion. Keep up the good work.
Loading.
Yeah, keep up the good work. Very good. Hey, the Nemesis, welcome in. Good morning. I don't think that guy is gonna get to publish anything. Yeah, I also have my doubts. Gotta be honest. A dark horseman approaches. Messenger and foe, she can hear you along the straight and narrow, but once on the adjacent slope, observe the white of her eyes. Okay, so I think we have to go ahead and... this? Yeah.
Loading. Quarantine zone.
The peasants are like the sea, raging and unpredictable. That is why we have built walls.
I do not see any walls.
No? Look around you. A shelf of soda here, a case of candy there, magazines, talk shows, pills. The walls of the 21st century surround us.
Quarantine lifted.
Alright, that does it. A company that is so powerful surely wouldn't have the ability to record them conversations or stop a book from being published. Yeah. definitely a bit foolish, you know, to think, okay, yeah, that's what they're responsible of. And they're surely gonna let me, you know, like, voice my opinion and whistleblow. What if Abstergo develop their own assassins, like a team group, like you need someone to do the killing? They basically have that, yeah. They have like different people doing killings for them, and they've actually have assassinated countless of people throughout the centuries to get their pieces of Eden as well, or to kind of like secure the secret of the Order of the Templars. They also later developed a team called Sigma Team, which is led by Otto Berg. And that's kind of like the main kind of like Templar cell that's hunting assassins around the globe in the late 20th and early 21st century. But yeah, that's cluster number 9 done. Only one more to go, and that's in the Castello San Angelo. I could actually replay a mission to get access to that cluster, just so I have it all done before the sequence ends. But I want to go ahead and pick up the armor of Brutus first. Not so just individuals. I mean, depending on the mission, they are kind of not really acting as like an army or something, right? Also doing like solo contracts and stuff. I mean, if you think about it, if a Brotherhood is like doing missions together, it's kind of like comparable, isn't it? But yeah, they've of course performed like countless of assassinations through various means, you know. It wasn't all just an army attack. They had like, I mean, we see it also so many times in the AC games, how they're like assassinating people. Okay, let's find the underground entrance here.
Set bones in each eye.
The paraglide is so funny. Breath of the Wild shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like one of the inventions that Leonardo gives you. Once you finish all of the War Machine missions for him. The one thing that made you fail, you know, for the damage challenge. How did that happen? There we go. The armor of Brutus. Which is why it's also looking a bit more ancient overall, you know. With like the cloak and pelts and stuff. That's supposedly what Brutus wore when, you know, he killed Caesar. Oh, very nice, Nemesis. Yeah, Origins has amazing voice acting. I mean, mainly because of, you know, Abubakar Salim, who's a voice actor for Bayek. But also beyond that, there's like lots of characters, I think, where they've done a great job voicing them as well. And really, you know, giving us a feeling for whatever emotion is going through that character. But yeah, Bayek's voice acting was like outstanding, to be honest. Definitely one of my favorite performances in the series. Okay, so we have one cluster left up there. Now I do want to go ahead and replay one of the missions that gets us into the location. And that should be in sequence 4, Castello Crusher. Yeah, infiltrate Castello Angelo. So this one we can replay to trigger an achievement, I guess. But also to get access to the cluster. I've already completed this mission successfully, so should I be detected here, it won't really be counted, you know, because this is not like a mission I have to beat still. But you forgot that in Brotherhood you can't use the parachute, let go of it and use another one like you can in Revelations. You try to do that to get to the ground faster in that race. I gotcha. I actually didn't know that either, you know, that wasn't the case. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, it's really interesting, you know, how you have like very small differences between games. And they can really like make a difference sometimes if you fail a challenge or not, even though they're like so similar. Yeah, Aura, that voice actor is so damn funny. It's not my favorite performance, but he's definitely, you know, very entertaining. Yeah, me too, Rod, for sure. Would have been great if you played another character. And yeah, absolutely, Aura. I think it's great how they incorporated a bit of like Bayek's story through Reda in Valhalla. Even if it's just like a small letter, you know, it's like really cool to, you know, see and hear more of him beyond like the ending of Origins. And hey there, Gaskra, welcome in. Howdy. Howdy do. Yeah, Nemesis. So as Gaskra pointed out, there's actually different studios that worked on Origins and Odyssey. However, even though you don't have like the warrior bow, like in Origins, you still have an ability that gives you the option to shoot multiple arrows at the same time if you want to. But it does look a bit different overall. But you can have like a similar type of ability pretty much.
Forget the Pope, you only answer.
Okay, so the cluster is down here. There we go. The last cluster.
Where have you been? I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too, Clay. Adam and Eve getting deceived by the snake. But you love the ability in Valhalla to mark multiple targets with your bow. The longer you hold, the more damage when you let fly and avoid them no matter what. That's true, yeah. The Mark of Death ability, I think is what it's called. It's really, really overpowered. Especially the start of the game. I'm still debating if I want to include Valhalla or not this year. It really depends on like how early I get Origins done. But so far this series run has been definitely going at a like pretty good speed, so gonna see, I guess. That's certainly an ability that would be very helpful for stealth in Valhalla as well. Jesus, this puzzle's like my nemesis. The last cluster in Brotherhood. Okay, so we've done it. Sorry, I actually had myself muted here for a sec. But yeah, it's good to get this done, finally. And yeah, Gaskra, that's a really good set actually, the Magister set. I do like how it looks and also the effects on it. Cheers, Nemesis. Yeah, not sure yet if I'm gonna be playing Valhalla this year, but we're gonna see, I guess. Without of the main game, as you don't blame me if I leave it out this year. You're debating whether you also do the Wrath of the Druids and Siege of Paris DLC this year. Yeah, that's definitely understandable too, you know. If I would play Valhalla, then I would probably also go ahead and play the Siege of Paris DLC, because that's the one also developed by Moncho, I believe. But yeah, I gotta debate still. And yeah, Nemesis, I do quite like these biblical references sometimes in Assassin's Creed, you know. Because, you know, kind of like wanting to understand like the origin of humanity, I guess, and then linking it to that mythology was an interesting touch to kind of like add to that alternative history / alternative mythology storyline. That's such a good track, Gaskra. I love Echoes of the Roman Ruins. It's such a classic in Brotherhood. That way I will hear Arno, you mean Pierre? Yeah, was kinda cool, you know, for him to have a comeback in an AC game again. Even though Unity wasn't his first role, but it was still cool to see him back in like a French setting as well. And like doing a French accent as well, you know. Since he didn't do that in Unity. And Gaskra, thank you for the resub with Prime Gaming. Thank you for choosing me for this month. And that's the question, isn't it? Where's Shadsley? I think he's...
I make my own luck.
Together with Shay making their own luck. Hey Vamola, welcome in. How's it going? Good morning. How's your Brave New World treating you? Yeah, it's going pretty good. We just have finished one of the final puzzles here for the last cluster in Brotherhood. So pretty exciting stuff there. Not too far away now from finishing the game.
Loading. Reasoning centers active. I understand. I understand what I must do. Why I am here. I must. Long-term memory centers active. No. No. Get it out. Get it. Kill me. Loading.
Yeah, that's true, Rod. He did do that role as the informant in Black Flag. He also played Kata in AC3. The guy who's torturing or wants to torture one of the Templars at the beginning of the game, which you have to rescue with Haven. That's really funny, like the guy who's basically talking about cutting off his ear or his nose and stuff. That's also Arno's voice actor. But they did also do that informant in Black Flag, right, for one of the Assassination, kind of like Templar hunts. And yeah, she was fine, Mola, thank you for asking. She's been here now for a couple of days, so she already had a couple nights over here. But yeah, I think she's really liking it. As well as the new bed as well. Definitely spending a lot of time there. Just chilling. Okay, a product that we make without hands or machines. I think this is about humans / children. Could also be about ideas, but I think it's about just having people in the pictures. Let's see. Yeah, like multiple.
Loading.
With a focus on kids, I guess.
It's about genetics. They were born into their place. We merely have to help them accept it.
With each passing day, the people get stronger. Freedom ascends, heralding a revolution. There we have the assassin insignia as part of this protest here. Stand against them, united. We are changing, the consensus is shifting. Another assassin insignia here on the flag. There's another assassin flag here on another demonstration. There's an ego, that's basically what we have to look for. That's like the correct coordinates, I believe. Another assassin insignia. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. So that's like assassins who have infiltrated the police, I guess. But they're like part of a protest. They're using like cop disguises, I guess. Maybe to control the success of the protest a bit better, I would reckon. But yeah, what we're looking for here is the ego. But Shay makes his own luck without hands or machines. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I don't have to play his story this year. So I don't have to listen to that quote all the time. Unless, of course, it's through a sound bit. Okay, so we have 2 and 6. And we have 4 and nothing. Okay, so if we look closer here to the wheel, right? We have 2 and 3 makes 5. 3 and 5 makes 8. 5 and 8 makes 13. 8 and 13, 21. And then we have 24 by adding 21 and 3. And then again you have 21 and 24 making up 45. But what could be 45, you know? I'm guessing we have to go higher in the number with 4. So what could it be? Like if we add the previous 2 together, we have 69. I don't think 69 is one of the numbers here. We have 89, for instance. And we have 72. We also have 66. I think it's gonna be 72 actually, because it could be 69 plus 3. So let's go for 72 here. And we have 8 and 1. And we have 0 and 5. We have 0 and 21. Which makes 4 and... Then we're looking for the last number, I guess. So what could that be? Let's say we have 72 plus 45. We have 5 and 5 here, which makes 8 and 21. Okay, this must be Lair, I reckon. Okay, so this can't be the right number here, 72. Let's listen to some advice here by Sean.
The numbers in the code wheel are changing drastically. Is it possible that each place value is being treated differently? Look at the ones column and the tens column.
Okay, the ones column and the tens column.
Loading.
Okay. Rot. Hiya! Precision Getter? My favorite type, Precision Getter in Origins. With the delay. You just got the Ezio collection, so when you finally started, you're gonna be putting out the little hair you have during these puzzles. You just know it. Yeah, they can be quite tricky. Definitely don't feel bad about using a guide if you really get stumped, because yeah, playing them for the first time, you know, like some of the puzzles can be quite infuriating to solve on your own, if you don't know what you're looking for. Abstergo Industries. Abnormal brain activity discovered in children aged 3 months to 18 years old and adults aged 19 to 30. Abstract. Several recent studies conducted by internal marketing teams revealed that entertainment sales are dropping, protests are mounting. The economy is in turmoil. All market research indicates that the system should be stabilizing, but instead, we're seeing the opposite. 1. In response, our team set out to discover the cause of the declining efficacy of Abstergo's control methods. Past studies of bilateral brain activation during television, film and video game use have shown the characteristic AR-AS patterns induced by Abstergo signal patterns. Our study was conducted on a range of test subjects, 30 subjects aged ±10 to ±30, who viewed TV programs where resting state fMRI scans were conducted. In contrast to previous studies, 80% of test subjects showed heightened cortical brain activity. Detailed scans using our prototype DMRI machine revealed an increased rate of neuronal development ±30% over that of older age groups. Such a marked increase does not fit Darwinian models. Further studies are required to define the ultimate outcome of this abnormal evolution. Abstergo Quarterly Marketing Report, 17th of April 2012.
Loading.
Abstergo Top Secret, January 2012. Yeah, this one I remember because it's always the beginning and end one.
If you are playing this tape, it means I have left this world. And I have left this grand enterprise, Abstergo Industries, our great hope for humanity, to you. Don't trust the advisors around you. They are too enamored with surface, with lifestyle. We created capitalism, but we are not capitalists. Our purpose is noble. The crude system of control we enact through money is merely a bandage on a wound we have devoted our lives to treating. The people of this world are confused, lost, frightened, and incapable of independent productivity. Without us, they'd just be animals, slaves to the others who did not deserve such responsibility. We saved them, remember that. But enough about the past. I must warn you of the great crisis to come. Although those around you deny it, soon we will be unable to manufacture new markets. The people will become immune to our economists and entertainment. When the free market dies, they will turn against us. Therefore, do not delay. By now you have been shown what only the Grand Masters of our order have seen. Now you know why Abstergo, why all of it had to be. And now you know what you must do. Stay the course. We will give them freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from pornography. From disgusting base animal desire. Freedom from democracy. Humanity will thank us in the end. In hoc signo vinces.
Loading.
Yeah, that's the real freedom that people are looking for, you know? Yeah, Aura, as Rod says, that's part of a plan. There's no plan to the evolution. Welcome in, Tyler. Kinda funny how a video game company is putting the anti-capitalist messages in the games. This must be a pre-anime store. Yeah, was kind of like the developers, you know, making like a knock against, you know, the like shareholders or like the execs. "64 squares, all ranks and fouls, every move anticipated, every response engineered. Abstergo created it. It's the company's game. There's no way out. H. Act 2, SC2 192. Apron los ojos. Tuam libera mentem. The king. F2, your move." Okay, so basically we gotta move and make like an impossible move with the king, because the king can only move one tower at a time. But the thing is, you can't really escape the game because the game is controlled by Abstergo. So the only way to get out of this is by not playing the game, because nothing is true and everything is permitted.
Loading. I shut it down. I can shut it down, but it does not go away. It is almost time, Desmond Miles. I know how to open the path. Soon my true purpose will be revealed. Soon I will not be alone. Loading. Quarantine zone. Quarantine lifted.
And there we go. The miracle is in the execution.
There's nothing here.
Strange, I'm seeing a massive amount of data.
What does he mean? The miracle is in the execution?
I don't know. Some kind of commentary on nihilism?
He's playing with us. Unless...
It isn't a video. Hang on. Launch it yourself when you're ready.
The truth is out there. Oh yeah. Thanks Clay for that. That's like the ring shit. With like the visuals on that message. Yeah. But yeah, that's only hiding something that isn't quite as creepy. Actually, it is a message for us that is there to guide us and help us. The clay left behind for us. Also called Subject 16, the guy who was in the same animus that Desmond was at Abstergo before him. And they also share the ancestor that is Ezio. Right, let's do this. I really like the visuals in these animus parts.
I need money, sir. I'm poor and sick and hungry.
Lady's even chasing us into the deepest depths of the animus. Can't have the animus without beggars. That's true. Okay, so I'm gonna touch all of these objects. And then we go to the right, I guess, if I can.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
I just need it.
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb
That's the lamb
sauce?
Right here, chef.
Lamb sauce is coming up.
Where's the lamb sauce? Oh, I guess Schatzli is having it. Sorry about that, Gordon. Do I have to drop down here? I think there should be appearing something up here, but maybe I'm mistaken. Oh, hold on. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, okay. Let's head back. Okay, so I did get a checkpoint now, so maybe I gotten the one that I need here. Yeah, that's better.
Compiling subsystems. Infrastructure. Tendons. Heart.
Voice.
Subject 16?
Yes. Yes. Subject 17.
You're dead. I saw your blood.
No time. It is far later than you know. Too late to save them.
Who?
She is not who you think she is. Everything you hope to become, everything you hold dear, it's already gone.
Explain. Please.
Eden. In Eden, find Eve. The key, her DNA.
Tell me.
I cannot. The sun. Your son. Too weak. Must replenish energy.
Don't go!
I am with you till the end. Find me in the darkness.
Requiescat in pace.
Desmond, you're safe. We thought we'd lost you.
I'm here. I saw 16, I think.
Welcome back, Desmond.
I don't know whether it actually happened. It feels like a dream.
Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. The Animus is behaving normally.
Take a break before going back in there, okay?
Yeah, I take a break. Stuck in the Animus. It's so funny, like that happens every single time.
Sorry for frightening you.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
When you're ready, let's continue.
I'm not even properly inside the Animus. I'm just standing here and I can't get out. But yeah, this is happening every single time I do this last cluster mission. Desmond just being stuck in the Animus for the cutscene. But yeah, very interesting message there that Clay left behind for us, you know. It's like definitely sci-fi in a way. But he's talking about, of course, the end of the world with his son. He's also talking about Desmond's son that he isn't really aware of, called Elijah. He said that the one killing Juno, actually, becoming a person again. And ironically, he's also a sage of Aita, who was the lover of Juno. And he's the one ending up killing her. It's also talking about how she's not the one that he thinks she is, which might be a reference to Lucy, you know, being like the betrayer. Makes sense because Lucy has also betrayed Clay, of course. And yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Desmond doesn't understand everything, but it's still very important that what Clay left behind for us here. Fight me in the darkness, even though in Revelations Desmond's consciousness is inside the Animus. In fact, he's in a coma, which otherwise would mean he's in darkness. Matches with what Clay says there as well. It's very true too, you know. And Revelations also has this kind of like very dark aesthetic for the Animus. It's kind of like in contrast to the very white thematics of AC2 and Brotherhood and AC1 too. Which could also be like the difference between like consciously being in the Animus versus unconsciously experiencing it. The Animus is part of me now. It's like the bleeding effects on another level. You love playing as Elijah and killing Juno? Oh wait, yep. Had to read a comic for that instead. So true, and how they changed the colors of Desmond's clothes to the inverse. That as well, yeah. It's a really cool kind of like effect for sure that they went for there aesthetically.
Ready when you are.
Look at my stylish slashing! Reveal your family pride with my fine raiment!
I like how he kept on talking even before I loaded like Rome. Already in the Animus simulation. Amazing. Okay then. So I believe the only missions we now have left in the game are the last 3 assassination contracts, which are over here. Let's go ahead and take the fast travel. And I guess let's also buy some buildings because we have the money now. Basilica di Massenzio. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is, Aura. That's like how the bleeding effect actually works, you know? Like you becoming part of the enemies. The enemies of you. I'm one with the enemies. Kind of funny, once you trigger the animation to go inside the fast travel station, you can use the hidden blades to trigger the animation. This one.
There's wickedness out here.
Conduct a seminar in modern bridge building and diking techniques.
Okay, so some of this district should be assassination contracts.
No, please! Let me go!
And I wish you could take the instruments here. Because I think in like the original console version, you could actually pick up those weapons. You can still pick up the brooms and the fishing rods though. But yeah, you can't pick up the instruments, unfortunately. Would be so funny to do that and to kick the asses with it. Cardinal Sin. Servants of a Borgia believe they can hide behind the church. Their actions protected by the clothing they wear. Make an example of a cardinal. Kill him before he reaches the sanctuary of San Pietro. Foes think? Kill only the cardinal. So I can't kill anybody else here. I think sticking to ground level is better here because this district has tons of rooftop guards. And I can't kill any of them. This mission also seems to be kind of like a chase mission, as I understand it. So any detections during the chase will not be counted, unless it can be 100% avoided.
Regulation stipulates a minimum distance of 10 feet. A mass will be held tomorrow for the souls of the
He's like running on
fire at San Cirino.
site, isn't he?
Note that the old tannery has agreed a compensated departure and will relocate. The new site will be across the Tevere from Campo Marzio. Consiglio Leonardo.
Nice, that works.
Damn! I'm losing him! Found him! Ah.
Okay, that's one of the contracts done. Let's go for another one here. What is up with that detection in this district?
I don't take kindly to idiots upsetting my peace. Clear off. I've wasted enough time with you.
It's like they don't want to attack me or something. See that?
You should get you should what to 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 get what you should what to get you should what you should get you should what to get you should what to get what you should what to get you should what to get you should get you should what to get what you should what to get 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 I know that you should what to get you should get you should what to get you should what to get what to get you should get what you should get you should what to get you should get you what get you should what to get what to
Brought low by one man. I'm taking anchor,
Oh, amazing. That was so random. I don't know what happened with the detection of these rooftop guards in this district, but they don't want to attack me for some reason. Same glitch as before. Yeah, it's really weird. I know what's causing that, but hey there, Anakin. Yeah, there was a proper remix right there. It's definitely like that. I broke the enemy's harbinger. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I guess becoming one with the enemies, you know, has that as a result apparently. Sample that beat Ronnie. It was like so good, you know, it was basically perfection. Nothing I can add to that. Thanks for clipping that, Rod. You should want to get down Roma remix. Amazing. Oh, sorry about that, Anakin. Thanks also for clipping that. Graduation. 4 of the Borgia paper guards are scheduled to complete their training today. Send them congratulations on behalf of the Brotherhood. Full sync, do not lose any health squares. I can't take any damage whatsoever.
This honorable surrender makes meeting his demand equally honorable. Campo dei Fiori tomorrow at the usual time.
Yeah, that was so funny. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, that was supposed to be detected here. I gotta be more careful. I'm pretty sure I have to go inside this area here. Okay, nobody up here. And there are the paper guards. Okay, nobody down here either, it seems. So I still can't take any damage, right? So I can't just let myself fall down here. It's like I have to take a parachute pretty much. Jesus, I was very close to getting detected here. Okay, I'm just gonna use my assassin recruits to take care of this. What? That was a bullshit detection. So also have been bugged. Like literally their bodies are bugged. Do you see that? Like all of them are dead. Yet I didn't finish the mission. What's happening with the game right now? This guy's just shitting up here now, doing nothing. The game is just completely bugged out right now. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restart the game.
Motionless like Osiris, motionless his limbs like Osiris.
Yeah, I think the remix definitely broke the game or something. Because I don't know what's going on here. But they're not gonna counter detection because this was like something that would never happen during another instance of those kind of like missions, you know, because the assassins have basically created conflict on themselves. So even if you would stand like next to them, they wouldn't detect you, but only the ones they have a conflict with. Okay. Let's go this way, I guess.
This might be the fox's club.
Oh, so I get reset here, only to not get any entrance. Okay then, game. It's like, yeah, sure, let's set you over here so you can't have any entrance. That's ridiculous. I gotta climb all the way around again. Someone is letting me know that she wants to play. What's the puppy's name? She's called Nalu. It's actually Hawaiian for wave. But we didn't choose the name though. Okay, so guess I gotta go back in here again. So I still can't lose any health, right? So I feel like if I use the Brotherhood and they kill them, maybe it doesn't count. Let's see if they can be affected by smoke bombs. Okay, so they can. Let's see if that works. So again, they're dead, but the bodies aren't being completed. What a bunch of bullshit is that, honestly. Okay, so you have to enter the courtyard and then it counts. Get it inside the area first. Jesus, the logic on some of these missions. It's like, come on, dude. Don't do me like that. The question is how to get out of here with everything closed off. Is it gotta climb the castle here? But yeah, that was definitely inconvenient, Anakin. That's for sure. Didn't even know I had 2 streams today. We just saw the Discord message. She was away during those hours. I gotcha. That's definitely fair. Yeah, I figured I could do another.
Come, which part of remove testicles before hanging?
I figured I could do another session with Shredders and finish off a game, which we did earlier.
Another one.
But yeah, I still had a bit of time left, so I decided to prepare a little bit better here for the end of Brotherhood. I'm not gonna be finishing Brotherhood today, but at least I wanted to finish like all of the side content for the last 2 sequences here. So then tomorrow we can finish Brotherhood and also probably start and finish the Da Vinci Disappearance. Yeah, Shredders was a pretty short game overall. There were like 75 missions in the game. But where's the last Assassination contract? But a lot of the missions are like very short, right? It's like, okay, I do this move and then you're basically done with the mission. So yeah, I finished like 30 plus today in about 2.5 hours. If I want a long game, try Elden Ring next. Yeah, there's quite a few Soulsborne games I could play. I also have Dark Souls 2 and 3, and I also own Bloodborne. I wonder where the last Assassination contract is, unless that's been marked as finished now. Yeah, there's one more Assassination. But it isn't being showcased on the map, is it? Let me quickly take care of the display here. Ah, never mind, it's on top of the Assassin headquarter. So there's like another symbol on top of it. That's why. Okay then. But yeah, it's like literally right next to it. Yeah, that should be the final side quest in the game.
have a great...
Yes, also go ahead and buy the next weapon here. Which I guess will be the Condottiero Mace, I believe. Quite a unique looking weapon, at least. This was also one of the unique weapons in AC2 that you could only get if you had like the PlayStation connected to your Ubisoft account or something.
That should do, I hope. And please come back often.
Oh, one thing I wanted to check here. Can I equip from here? Yeah, I can. Because I do want to change to the Zeus Nova set again. Since I don't like the Armor of Brutus too much, like look-wise. It is really good, like health and resistance-wise, and you don't have to repair it. But look-wise, you know, nothing beats this. It's kind of like the iconic Ezio look from Brotherhood. Minus the weapon.
For the ladies, my selection of shawls, stores, and French hula.
Right, final assassination contract. Brutes and Brutality. The Borgia sent a large number of heavily armored guards to the city, hoping to further dissuade any opposition. Go, oppose them before they hurt any of the rebels. Full sync, kill all targets under 15 seconds. So I think this is counting them as in once you arrive at the location and kill the first one, you have like 15 seconds left to do it. What we can just do here is use an arrow storm to kill all of them, I reckon. Yep. And that completes all of the assassination contracts. So, that gives us 92% total sync right now. We 100%ed all of these sequences up until sequence 7. We've done all of the secret locations, all of the War Machine missions, all of the Borgia Towers, or Templar agents, or Cristina missions, all of the assassinations, all of the thief missions, all of the courtesan assignments, the Copernico DLC, and yeah, that's it. Gotten all of the viewpoints. So that's essentially all of the side stuff left for the, done for the main game that I want to be doing before we finish the last 2 sequences, which we will be doing tomorrow though. And really take our time, you know, to savor the final missions. And then of course we still have the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC, which I'm going to be playing after we get to the ending of the game. And then once we finish the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC, I'm gonna be playing the Lost Archive DLC. This time I wanna be doing it before starting the main game of Revelations. So we have like a bit more of like a setup for Clay's story, because he's gonna be quite important for the main story of Revelations 2. And Desmond is also gonna meet him within the Animus again. So yeah, I wanna get that backstory, and it's also like chronologically set before the events, of course, of Revelations. So I feel like it would be like a nice flashback sequence before we get started with the main game. But yeah, that's a plan for the next kind of like AC streams and for Ubisoft Mentore journey. For today though, this shall be where we will end the stream. So let's go ahead and quit the game here. And yeah, head over here. I want to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me today for more of Brotherhood. And of course also for Shredders earlier, if you have been there for that. And I haven't really decided yet which game is actually going to replace Shredders now that we finished it. But I'm going to come up with something until tomorrow. And yeah. It's time to, I guess, start another new game. Thanks, Rod and Dora. And no worries, thank you also for joining us here today. Thanks also again for the raid earlier, Rod. That was, I think, when I was still playing Shredders, actually. Assassino! No worries, Ronnie. Thank you also for being here. Glad you've enjoyed it, and the beats too. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I'm gonna save that clip forever. Or those two clips, I guess. Catch you next time, Harbinger. And yeah, thanks also again, Selcat, for the bits today. And Geskra, thank you for the Prime resub with 8 months. And of course everybody else, thank you for joining us today and for watching the stream. Yeah, let's see who's online, shall we? We could raid today. Okay, I think we're gonna go and keep it to AC today, because Gislik is also playing some Ezio currently with AC2. He's doing some of the glyphs actually right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can't help him there if he wants some help. Or at least witness him trying to solve them. It can be quite difficult, to be fair, especially if you're, you know, playing it for the first time. But yeah, if you would like to join us for the raid here to Gislik, there's some raid emotes you can copy and paste if you like. We got one for non-subs and one for subs, so feel free to choose whatever applies to you. And yeah, also if you want to check out some fellow streamers, we're also big fans of Assassin's Creed, definitely go ahead and check out Rod, as well as Ronnie. And Moller too. So Rod is also currently playing through the Ezio games. Right now he's working his way through Revelations. He's also doing a playthrough of GTA 5 right now and Red Dead Redemption 2. Also check out Ronnie, who's been playing all kinds of games really. Lots of narratively driven ones, from Rockstar games to Ubisoft titles. And also check out Mona, who's been currently doing a playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. On the weekends you can also catch him usually play some community games like Goose Goose Duck and the likes. So if you're into that, then definitely check out those weekend streams as well. yeah, that shall be it for today. So thanks again everybody for being here, and I will see you over at Gislex.